Since Spider-Man No Way Home came out, many fans watching the three Spideys come together have reinforced the idea that Toby Maguire's Spider-Man is the best of all of them. This is for good reason, as Toby was the first man to don the web-slinger costume on our screens, and he did one heck of a job. But that's not the only criteria. Welcome back to Up Next, and in today's video we will be trying to answer the question of, is Toby Maguire really the best Spider-Man? So if you're hyped, then hit those like and subscribe buttons and let's go. In a poll regarding the subject matter, Toby Maguire came out on top with a winning percentage of 91.3%. Now that would mean that he won approximately 20,000 of about 21,500 battles he was involved in. The great actor was the man in all of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, and the fans' reviews should have explained why. I mean, these films were among the best superhero films to break through and really go viral. The thing is, Maguire did such an amazing job that even people who had never picked up a comic book or a Spider-Man video game got attached to the character because of various elements unique to Toby Maguire's character. Anyways, before we go into that, let me complete the results from the poll I was talking about. Sorry, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is not second, as he occupies the third position. The number 2 spot went to the character in Marvel's Spider-Man PS4, PS5 video games, who apparently won 89.6% of his battles. As I said earlier, Holland ranks third with a fight-winning percentage of 88.9. After that, we have the man behind Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Miles Morales occupying numbers 4 and 5 respectively. And by the way, Andrew Garfield sits at number 7. And for the curious ones, the least loved web-slinger is Patton Parnell, who won only 12.9% of his fights. So besides the thing that seems to be the one criteria for winning this poll, battles won in accordance with battle fought, what is the factor that singles out Toby Maguire's Spider-Man? Ever since No Way Home dropped and we got to see all of our favorite Spideys all in one place and being cool, fans of the web-slingers who have been with the film since its start couldn't help but feel nostalgic at seeing Maguire's Parker back in action. We got to see him be him, and the difference could still be felt even as many of us have grown to think that all Parkers are the same. For Tom Holland's Spider-Man, who is the youngest, it was in No Way Home that he finally grows up and transitions from a smart-mouth whiz to a real hero who might just do good in spite of his childishness. And even that was in part thanks to Toby's Spidey. Aside from little differences in character story, such as girlfriends, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man's girlfriend was Gwen Stacy rather than MJ, and having access to super spider suits like Tom Holland did, our idea of Peter Parker blossomed more through Toby. No Way Home reminds us of Toby Maguire's original Peter Parker, not just for the film development of Spider-Man as a character, but our understanding of what superhero stories should do and be. Yes, the films were amazing, and we all reasonably got obsessed with the entertainment in the MCU. It came with a lot of crooked humor, amazing special effects, and self-awareness themes. However, even the best of the franchise's offerings could hardly be called sentimental. The MCU isn't just big on matters of the heart. However, if they could ever try to do more in that aspect, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies are the blueprints. Those 3 movies were Spider-Man stories that were genuine and completely cynical, which is one thing that Marvel isn't interested in becoming. It was this Spider-Man that really gave people that sense of purpose embedded in the phrase, "your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man." It was not just about being a hero who is probably out of touch with his origins. It had to do with contributing to the betterment of your environment. Rather than Tom Holland's Spider-Man, who gets quickly initiated into the Avengers ranks and now has to go fight villains who are threatening the entire planet. Yes, he has bigger responsibilities, but he is far from home, let's say, unlike both Andrew Garfield and Toby Maguire. One of the biggest problems with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is that he was quite overshadowed by the Spider-Man 4 that was expected before it dropped. It also bore too much resemblance to it, except for a few differences. Quite honestly, Maguire's Peter Parker would probably not sell in today's Marvel movies. For starters, he's probably the most uncool web-slinger to have ever graced our screens. He's not a technical genius, there are no quick tricks or constant jokes. This is a man whose quiet and unassuming demeanor is at odds with the MCU's dominant view of what heroes should look like these days. I mean, to be frank, Maguire's Peter often appears as kind of a loser. The kind of quirky drug addict who is bullied by a local bus driver and can barely put 3 words together in front of his beloved Mary Jane. And worse, he might cry if he managed to do so. He doesn't have billionaire associates like Stark Technologies or an advanced team of godlike heroes in his iPhone contacts. Dude didn't even have an iPhone then. Overall, he's quite the joke, even after saving the day. Even the climax of No Way Home underscores why Maguire's Peter is still such an incredible hero. Just look at this guy who dresses like a confused substitute teacher and basically fell backwards into the superhero industry without help or guidance. But guess what? He's still here. There has never been a happy ending for him, but well into his middle age and in spite of what seems like unending bad luck, he still chooses to do good. He still chooses to fight the good fight that someone must. Indeed, with great power must also come great responsibility. And Marvel desperately needs a character like this on its screen. Beyond the web-slinging, Toby Maguire's Spider-Man is the ultimate hero because he never got the recognition like Tom Holland or reciprocated love like Andrew Garfield, nor wealth. But he still stands for good, and that's what everyone can relate to. Here you also have to give it to Andrew Garfield, who, although finds his true love, he loses her, and he's still here. Toby's Spider-Man has suffered and is still being hunted by the thought that he caused Uncle Ben's death. But he's still here. And that is what a superhero is really about. Will you stand and fight on the good side of history even when you'll gain nothing from it? And that's it for today's video on Up Next, folks. Is Toby Maguire really the best Spider-Man? Let us know in the comments if you agree that Toby is the best or have a different opinion. Remember to hit those subscribe and like buttons, and do the same for the notification icon so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. See you in the next video.